Hey, we're at the Hamilton Games Festival.
Yes.
It doesn't really roll off the tongue at all.
No, we like calling it the Ham Fest.
I'm not going to do a hand sign.
It's actually pretty much officially over. There's people just shutting down, taking down the stuff. There's a whole bunch of purple shirts from the Wraith games.
Lots of purple in this room.
We have them to thank for a lot of this.
We do. It's been a really cool experience. Got a lot of different people to play stuff. But one of the first people I met when I got here was Hanna, and she has this wonderful game called Make a Molecule, where you
make molecules.
Yeah, it's one of those games like it says what it does.
It's exactly what it is.
So I wanted to get a chance to sit and interview. There's a clip of people playing Make a Molecule. Unfortunately, the times that I played, I was busy playing, not shooting it. So, but
there are a lot of things going on, a lot of things to make happen.
That is true. So Hanna, I forgot your last name.
Seyerle.
Seyerle. I didn't forget your last name.
No.
that's I just realized that.
It's a long one.
That's my asthma doctor is Seyerle. Thanks for keeping me alive.
Oh my God. You know John Seyerle?
Yeah.
That's my uncle.
Sweet. I can be. That's awesome.
What? That's amazing.
See, the doc I had before him was one who set me up, but he's the one that keeps it going. So yeah, that's the reason I get bad sinus infections and all the rest of the stuff. So yeah, he keeps me alive.
Yeah, he's good at that. He's
awesome.
good at that.
And then there's Jeff.
Hi.
Jeff
Callahan.
Yep. That's Jeff Callahan. Now he's the second person that I met up here, very enthusiastic. And then there was also Shelby
Richards.
I have her on video playing with some of the other games, whatever. So you can see some of those too. So we had a good time. That is true. And anyway, hey.
Hey.
I'm here to interview several of the developers before we're all out. So we already know who you are. Tell me more, the organization.
So Jeff and I co-own Beyond Board Games, which is based out of Mooresville, Canby area, in Indiana.
I want to interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
How do you when you get on a bus and you're asking for a ticket to get to another bus, it's TRANSFER. How's that said?
Transfer?
See, my mom was from Indiana, and I picked up the transfer.
Transfer.
Right. So, okay, good. All right, sorry. I interrupted. So from Indiana, okay.
And a lot of people around me wash their clothes too. Why there's an R in wash, I don't know, but it's there.
It's there.
Yeah, so we've got us two owning it, and then we have 3 people who really help us out, and a couple more that definitely throw in their hat.
Just a couple saints that help lift us along.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we've got Shelby, who we featured some of the videos, and then Gavin and Jeremy, and a lot of other people, all of our parents, and some more of our friends that are not in state with us, but definitely carry
And don't
us up.
strangle us when we make them play our games.
That's true.
Over and over and over and over and over.
And playtesting's real.
Yes, it definitely is. Let me put these, because it's been a long day, and I forget my questions. I ain't gonna lie.
It's been a long day.
So, why do you make games?
Because I have to, and I think a lot of designers will feel the exact same way. When your hands aren't doing this, what are they doing? Well, they're doing more of this. But it's the same. It's a calling, and you once you figure out, you're like, I can do this. Well, why shouldn't I do this? Right?
It's an art, so it's much more portable. It's not like you're just like, I wanted to make a game. You can literally just conceptually make a game as the seed of it. So it's right there.
Yeah. And there are several times when I'm sure on the way home we're going to come up with an idea for another game or something we want to try with a game that we're currently working on. it's always there.
We've
And
come up with 2 or 3 concepts that way specifically.
yeah, and drives home from events. There have been games laid
Yeah,
out.
to do that when I have this little handy recorder, so that when I have these ideas, I just pick it up, put it on, and drive, like talk about it.
I need a button from Dion.
Need a button?
Oh, we need buttons right here.
Well,
Can it wait?
where
Can it wait? Okay.
we've got this.
We'll
it's
be
a-
at the mixer.
Hold on, folks. We have a button dilemma.
Thank you.
Well, no, that's all right. The interruptions make it all natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's if there's a boom stand with a camera, and we're all looking at it, and
Hey, we're
see,
going.
right.
We're going to the mixer after.
Okay. Just
We'll
one sec.
be winging them like shurikens.
Can I just pop in real quick?
Yeah,
Oh,
do
sure,
it.
go right ahead.
They're awesome.
And I forgot your name.
Christy.
Christy, come here for a moment, Christy. I want to give you some screen time too. Christy is married to Jay, and Jay was hello, and she was one of the first faces to welcome me on the way here, and I appreciated that, and I wanted to thank. I've already thanked Jay, but I also want to thank you because I know that you had a hand in putting this together too.
Yes.
So thank you. It's been cool. It's been great.
You're very welcome.
Okay, sorry. So why do you make games?
Why do I make games? A lot of the same reason. It's just one of my creative outlets. I just need to make a thing. I have a cool idea for a mechanic or an idea, and it just kind of happens a lot of the time. Or I play a game and I think that this could be better. Sometimes. I'm not naming any games,
And I
but we
think-
all have one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where a lot of design starts too, is where you're like, oh, but what if you did this in the game? But the rules don't allow for that, and you're like, well, I'm gonna change the rules. And then you all of a sudden 2 years later have an entirely new game, and you just designed a game.
I did that with my mother's chili recipe.
Don't tell her that. She uses your recipe, Mom.
So, what do you remember about the first games you made, and about when?
The first game I made was a Digimon card game. I know. It was gold. We made our own Digimon, and we had to give them powers and things. And me and my cousin, we would have Digimon fights. They're like Pokemon cards, but like only 3.
That's super cute. How old?
Probably early teens.
See, this is a trend I'm getting
Yeah.
with that. You?
I had anybody watch Mega Man Battle Network? Because I watched that Saturday mornings.
It was a cartoon.
It was a cartoon, Mega Man Battle Network, and I made my own Digimon. Or, not Digimon. Oh my god. I made my
You're just stealing her story.
No.
What is this?
I know, right? No, I made my own net navies for me and my cousins and my friends, and I made a bunch of chips with different effects, and we would play them like cards.
And how old?
I don't know. 6th grade, so 10.
10. Yeah. So like that's been the thing is that like about 10 in the tweens and the early teens. That's when people really started making games, and that's pretty cool. I wonder if there's psychologists. We were talking about some we were like, hey, we've got a couple of things we would like to have as a study. That's one that I'd like to know is about what age are kids able to start coming up with games that are like meaningful? Because we've all come up with games when we were like 6, but like to actually sit down and like compose.
Games that are playable.
Everything proof shields do not count on the playground.
Yeah.
Like you're it, I'm it. That's the rules.
No tag backs forever.
Yeah, not like that. I wonder if that's like the first, like about the age where like this greater picture of world building starts to come in. Favorite games?
Catan.
Catan.
It's just a
Absolutely
nice,
nothing like
straightforward-
make a
Says the fuzzy dice in your car.
Yeah, I do have a pair of Catan dice when Mayfair was still a thing.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, Catan, Star Trek Ascendancy.
Which one?
Star Trek Ascendancy.
Star Trek Ascendancy?
One of the Gale Force 9's newish games.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty great. I love it. And then a family favorites, Ticket to Ride, and I have played the life out of life.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Had like 6 babies.
Had like
And
all
like,
of the babies.
and then had the yeah. And
Great retirement plan.
Yeah.
Goal.
That's not happening for us.
I mean, not.
That's not.
But
It's not really.
we decided to become artists.
Oh, artists.
We don't. Yeah, you don't go into game dev for cash.
You do? You don't.
don't.
It's not really a joke. It's like, all right.
It's a way of life.
What about you and favorite? Oh, I like. What is you?
Respect.
We're straight up gangster here at Beyond Board Games from Indiana, small town.
Small town Indiana. What are your favorite games?
I have a number. I really like Firefly by Gale Force 9. Again, I play Star Trek with her. But I also like going off the deep end a little bit with some D&D and stuff. If that counts as a board game, we do tactical maps.
It's tabletop. We consider it. It's tabletop.
Tabletop, same family.
And I love just homebrewing all kinds of weird mechanics for that for my friends. And then I also really enjoy Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yes.
Especially again, D&D version.
The Baldur's Gate.
I'm gonna throw out because you brought that up. That was obviously one of the inspirations for my game, the Dr. Beardmonger. So I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I got one of those too. So.
Yeah, it's not really that it's a dead on thing. It's just an inspiration. You just like you're eating a potato and they put paprika on. You're like, hey, paprika can go on many things. You're like, I'm gonna go put paprika somewhere else. So that's the way that works. What do you think is missing in games today that you are bringing or want to bring?
It's starting to happen, but seeing more ladies. I think that we're there. We've always been there, but we don't get the name on the box. We don't get the notation in the rule book. We get we're the hidden army, and I think we're starting to really see some more women's names on boxes and really see some women presence in designer meets. I mean, I know I'm the only female designer here today.
She has a point.
And the coolest one.
But I'm here, and I'm not gonna stop showing myself as a game designer.
Kind of fun. Yeah, well, Jeff,
Yes.
what do you think is missing in games today that you are bringing or want to bring?
A lot of my game design happens when I come up with like something like a niche that I want to fill, and so a lot of my games end up being. I really try to zero it in on like developing like a particular sense, right? So like one of my games, I wanted to hit that complex strategy super early, right? So I want to try to create like an experience that is like distilled for like this game. If you want this sensation, I want you to play this game. If you want that sensation, I want that game. So like maybe like some like deep focus on a few aspects of it. Yeah.
How are you getting your funding?
So most of our funding comes from our amazing parents. And
International Bank of Mom and Dad, huh?
the International Bank
If we're
of Mom
doing
and
hand
Dad.
symbols,
I love you. I spayed you.
pass.
No, and of course our amazing employers. Thanks
Jobs are good.
to the job. So a lot of it's coming out of our own pocket. As far as funding go, I know it's something that everybody struggles with, but there's so many options now that are low, and the barriers to entry are.
They're increasing.
Yeah, they are, and it unfortunately, but I think that's something we kind of as an industry have to go look these guys can't get into this because they can't afford to, and I'm seeing some better quality prototypes in the fact that a lot of people are printing them at home.
Technology.
Getting 3D printers into people's homes, renting time on 3D printers. You no longer have to pay for someone to design a castle for you. There's a free software on your computer that you can put shapes together and get a really nice rendering. We've used it so many times on so many different games that we've made. So it just, it's expensive, and it's going to keep getting more expensive, but we have to keep pulling ourselves along and finding those little shortcuts. And I mean, life finds a way. And art is the same, and design is the same. We'll get
She's
there.
making a point. I couldn't take that.
And
that
when
moment
she
from-
says ourselves, she means us as a community. That's one of the great things about this.
Oh my
Is
gosh,
that
yeah.
when we say we mean we, not just our company, but like all the indie devs. Like whenever I go to these events, it is a team effort and talk to people.
One of the things that was brought up was that game development is an art, and I have a whole speech about what makes art and what makes something not art. But I think a lot of people miss out on the fact that it's storytelling, it's rule setting, and it's imagining how things turn out. Like there is a approach. Like if you were to go get a book, you could study and figure out like slot A, tab B, and make a functional rule game. But the art of making a game that people want to play, that's interesting, that you feel passionate about, that's a whole different thing.
And if you really are scared and you see all these things and they're like, okay, now make a prototype. If you don't know how to make a prototype, go to Meetup, go on Facebook and find a game design group. We exist, and we would love to show you how to draw lines on a piece of computer paper. Because that's what so many of our games started as, and we are perfectly okay with playing those games.
So you said reach out to us and all the rest of stuff. How do we reach out to you?
We're on all them social medias as Beyond Board Game. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, just at Beyond Board Game. BOARD. Not bored, as in I'm gonna fall asleep.
We're beyond that too, though.
Yep, that.
That's
Beyond sleep games.
So now the game.
Yeah, make a
Just-
molecule.
Give me the condensed version of what the game is.
Make a molecule is a quick pattern matching with a little bit of hand management. Basically what you do is you use elements in your hand and you use them to create molecules, while at the same time remembering that as science gives you things, you also have to give to others. So when you add cards to the molecule, you have to pass them to your friends. At the same time, creating molecules gets you bonuses and points, and we use all this together to create nice big point values. And
Yeah, it's it's a fun game. I want to make sure that that's clear. We've had several people endorse that whole thing, that it's a fun game, but it's a fun game. Inspiration.
So it kind of started with a conversation of, hey, you know how elements do that thing? With the stuff. So they have like valences. It started really technical, but it started with a science fundamental that you can always rely on. Elements have empty spots that they want to have filled, and there are at least 5 games that I know of that play on that concept. And we just kind of took it and turned it into a strictly card game.
You had some young people play testing it.
Yeah.
Not play testing, but playing it today. How young is this tested that's been successful?
6 is probably our youngest.
6 is the youngest,
6,
and they were able
yeah.
to pick it all up?
Yeah, so
And-
you definitely don't go through more than like 3 molecules, but you play the game. And really, it's all about matching the little symbol to the symbols on the molecules. And as long as you can have a picture recognition, it's a great way to build that. And kids as young as 6 can easily do pattern matching.
And as per, I don't really know how else to categorize this, nerd games go. These are accurate scientific names for the molecules that are given. Actual bonding. There's other details in there about like the covalent bonding and other. It's a little. There's like details of nerdism that are.
You will not believe how many chemistry majors go to game conventions and walk up and be like, they're like explaining to them the molecules, and they're like, oh, I'm a chemistry major. I'm like, oh, do you want to explain it to me then?
Yeah, we're not scientists, but we found a concept that really worked, and I mean, science can always, especially proven science, can always be relied on, and so it's a great place to start.
Well, ever since the Kern particle collider did its thing, we can't rely on anything anymore. Well, it set us under. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm just doing that for the conspiracy theorists. Sorry, I'm messing with your heads. That's all. All right. We've already talked about what it is that you need. What is it that you want to do next?
We want to be able to go to more conventions and to reach out to more people and to have more gaming events. And to do that, I mean, we have to have a game on the market. So we want to be able to sell this game. It's available now on several platforms, not technically in stores, but you could yet. But that's the goal. The goal is to get a game in stores.
One thing. Oh, sorry. Continue. I felt the urge to point out. I know that it's not all that clear, but she's got periodic table lanyard.
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Olivia.
Yeah.
And some pretty rad socks too.
I do. They are science socks.
Oh, well, I thought you were actually I was gonna look down and I was gonna see a decaying isotope, and I was like, oh my gosh. No, that you didn't mean rad that way. Like,
grab that rad away.
the nerd.
I got that reference.
I didn't get my own reference. It's fine.
Proud of you, Jeff.
So I'm sorry I interrupted. My ADD kicked in before we were talking. We were talking about what it is that you wanted to do next. And
Yeah, get games on shelves. We've got a lot of games. We've got more than just this one that we really are proud of and want to get into people's hands. And that's the goal, is to get other people playing our games.
You.
That sounds so simple. I made a game. I just want to play by myself.
I don't want to be the only one playing this game. I think it's a great game, and other people have told me it's a great game, so I know I'm not lying to myself. And so I just really want. I've got other games, and Jeff's got games, and because I'm the designer on this one, and Jeff's got games that he's designed. A lot of our other friends in our group have games that they've designed, and we want to get play tested and in people's hands.
Well, one of the things that something that's part of my mission that someone else also mentioned was I like playing games because I like people playing the games I make.
Yeah.
It would be nice if I made a living off of it, but that's not really the goal or really how I'm necessarily operating.
No.
And I know that seems a little contradictory, but that's actually part of the nature of art, is that you create something that you feel is valuable enough to share with others.
Art's for sharing.
So
why else create it if you don't want anyone to see it?
Comment that one down below, because I actually know a few people who are like, I will never share my art, and they like keep it in the basement.
Posthumous.
But at the same time, if you take pride in something, show that to other people so that they can take pride in you. And hiding your talents from other people, just, I don't know. I understand. I do understand the not wanting to show people your artwork because you don't want them to be mean toward it. People have been very mean to my games, and I have not stopped.
I'm in post. I'm going to like transpose a bit of like like an eagle. So like while she's doing that, I'm gonna have a little bum 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 bum, like a whole, you know.
Our shirts are green. You could green screen.
Green screen it. I'll just right over that. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's I agree with that. What about like anything? With any comments on that?
I don't think so.
It was just right.
I mean, do it. It's okay.
So now we come to the part where you get to say anything. Anything you want to say?
Supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, even though it sounded a little something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you always sound precocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
This is not probably what you wanted to. And now I'm demonetized because
Don't worry, we weren't close enough for the algorithm to catch us.
Follow us on social media. Check out our website, beyondboardgamers.com. Beyond Board Gamers.
Go to
we'll have
conventions.
Blogs.
Go to conventions.
Yeah, go to conventions.
It's so cool. So many people miss out on the fun stuff that happens at conventions. Even if you're not like a board gaming person, just going with a group of friends and just playing a game and leaving is hugely supportive.
Or
And
go
it's
by
fun and something dumb and different.
Or go by yourself and
Yeah.
sign up for the 12-hour D&D campaigns. You don't have to have friends with you.
And you don't need
They
sleep.
will provide them.
Sleep is for the weak.
that's
Do sleep and take showers.
that second.
Part
That,
two.
the sleeping part is a little bit less important than showers as far as I'm concerned. But sleep is still important.
Coffee
And then-
does not make you smell better, but it means you don't have to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, and so don't be afraid to go to convention. If it's something you love, we're more than happy to share what we love with you. That's what conventions are for. They're for everyone to share what they're passionate about with each other. And that's what we got to experience this whole weekend, was an entire weekend of people sharing games and, drone racing and game music. And it was just totally fun. And we're all sharing this amazing industry together. And that's pretty cool to us, and we want to be able to share it with you. So come say hi to us and buy our game.
Right, and
All
by the game.
of that.
I have
It's one thing.
I have a game called Swall Wars, Space Wizards and Lasers. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is that joke. Space Wizards and Lasers, and I have one of the characters. What I did was a mashup, and I have Leia and Solo mashed up, and so that character's name is Hanna.
Cool. I'm a character.
Wait,
And not just in an Amazon Prime serial killer way. Thank you for that weird TV show, Amazon Prime. I appreciate it to death. Just like the character. Kills everything.
Now I'm concerned.
yes, you're writing back.
No, yeah.
You know, like
Maybe I'll walk.
maybe yeah.
Indiana's not that far.
I'm pretty sure Lyft is not going to let you from here all the way to you could lift like for 10 miles at a length. like
Oh my god.
Bunny hop.
yeah, buddy.
Leap lift?
That's a leap
Oh,
lift.
man.
Yeah.
Alright,
Leap
that-
Uber?
So
Leap Uber?
thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, Jeff.
How long till we get a lift game, by the way?
A lift game?
A lift card game, yeah.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Because he plants a seed, and like suddenly my mind is going. I'm imagining. My first thing was I'm imagining a game that you can play in a lift, but then there's a game that then the next.
Conceptually about.
Well, there's several games about. Anyway, we could go on.
Well, we're gonna take that and run with it. Next convention, we'll probably have 2 competing lift games.
Hey,
Yeah.
Lyft, call us.
We can use the funding. Great.
Please.
All right. So that's it from the Hamilton game from Higgith 19. And I hope to see this next year. I hope to see you all again.
Absolutely.
Follow them. Follow the other people that I've interviewed. This is my official last interview. I know you might be watching it out of sequence, but there's other ones that happen as well. So
Check out the other ones.
Time is relative.
They're
so.
pretty cool dudes.
especially in a YouTube setting
No,
where you
yeah.
actually get to mess with the fourth dimension. You're just like, this happened before the last dimension, and this one, and then this can happen again. It's like the fourth dimension is all. All right, never mind.
It's there.
And if you have any ideas you want to share from this video, you have to comment, because we're going to go through those. And we need to know.
That's
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
I'm putting it up. I'm gonna be there.
No, I'm gonna be there. You can't be there. I'll be there.
All right. So, hey, good night. Or it's have a great time. Play games. Roll dice. Meet people.
Meet people
Do a backflip.
safely.
Yeah.